What's up, guys? Welcome back to another metal casting video. In today's video, I'm going to be turning this piece of foam here into solid metal. I have made this two other times in the past. Both of them were slightly different, and this one is a little bit different from the other two that I made. This one is slightly thicker. So unfortunately, I still have snow on the ground for the most part, and all of my aluminum scraps is buried under the snow. Fortunately, I have a whole bunch of scrap aluminum inside my garage that I'm going to melt down to be able to cast this foam into solid aluminum. Let me show you where it all started. I carved out the pattern using my CNC router, carving it out of polystyrene foam. I then used some sheetrock joint compound and mixed it up with some water in a separate container, and then I brushed on that joint compound over top of the foam, making sure that it gets into all the depressions that I carved out. And now we're back to today. The sheetrock joint compound is dry and has set for about 48 hours or more, and I'm going to perform the lost foam casting process and bury this foam pattern in dry sand. Once filled to the top, I'll vibrate the container, brush away any of the loose sand from the foam, and put a can with the hole cut out of the bottom over top. This is where I'll be pouring the molten metal into. So my casting area is all set up outside of my garage, and I surrounded my area with dry sand just in case I have a spill. And as you can see, I have some damaged areas of my driveway caused by molten metal spilling out on top of the driveway. So having this sand on top of the driveway will prevent, at least hopefully prevent, any damage to the driveway just in case of a spill. Now it's time to load the furnace with the aluminum that I'll be melting today. But the first thing I'm going to be melting down is this large aluminum cutoff from a previous lost foam cast that I've done. I'd like to start today's melt with a puddle of aluminum in the bottom of the crucible before adding any other aluminum to the crucible. Doing it this way will aid in melting down of any other scrap metal that I have. Alright guys, the aluminum has now melted down and it should be a lot easier to melt more aluminum. Now I'm going to start off by adding something like this into the furnace. I'm not really sure exactly what it's from, but it looks like it's for some kind of vent for maybe a washer dryer, something like that. I don't know. But we're going to throw that in the furnace and melt it down. So I don't really know what this is. I did put a magnet to it, and the magnet did not stick, so I'd say it's probably not going to be steel. But maybe my magnet was just a faulty magnet, but I've never heard of faulty magnets before. But this did not melt in the aluminum, so it must be a hotter melting temperature than aluminum. I'll have to look into that later. But for now, we're going to add some more aluminum. I'll use some gutter pieces, some elbows from the gutter. It's probably going to be easier to have more molten aluminum in the furnace to melt those down. And then I'll probably add some stuff that's in this bucket. I hope it fits. It looks like it's like 4 inches in width. It should fit as long as I have enough molten metal in the crucible to bring up the crucible higher of molten metal. So let's start adding this to the furnace. That stuff was a little smoky. I don't think I'm going to be melting any more of that. I don't need somebody calling the fire department on me. So I think the remainder of the metal that I'll be melting is this long piece of pipe here. This is clean metal, and I will definitely have enough metal in the furnace to cast this mold. Now that the aluminum has melted down, it's time for me to clean out any of the dross that has floated from the top. And there is a lot of dross. This is more than I get from melting down aluminum cans. That last piece of aluminum that I put in here that barely fit and smoked like crazy, that is what all of this is from. I will never melt that down again. So whatever I have left, I'll be bringing to the scrapyard and recycling it as aluminum. Because I still have more molten aluminum in the crucible, I'm going to preheat a graphite ingot mold and pour the remainder of that molten aluminum into the mold. Just like I did earlier, there is a lot of garbage left over inside of the crucible. So I'm just going to scrape some of that out so I don't have it in there next time I melt down some aluminum. I'll also leave that little bit of aluminum inside of the crucible for next time. All right, guys, it's been like 10 or 15 minutes for this one. I will be removing that from the sand shortly, and I'll be flipping this ingot mold over and grabbing this nice ingot to add to the stack. Now that this is cooled down and dry, it's time to cut away that extra aluminum. Now that that's cut away, I'm going to take it over to the belt sander to really sand up the area that I just cut away with the hacksaw. And then I'll take it over to the vise and use a Dremel tool and a wire wheel to get rid of any of the plaster residue. And then I'll finish up today's project by sanding it down with 240 grit sanding paper. And here is the finished custom ingot, the Heinrichs made honeycomb ingot. I must say, it does look good, especially the little tiny bee that I included in the corner. The lost foam casting method is by far my favorite way to cast metal. If you can make it out of foam, then you can turn that foam into solid metal.